Now, the large cities is one topic of intensive investigation by urban geographers. In this context, there are a couple of concepts we need to define. First is urbanized area. So this is the concept defined by the U.S. government. This is a continuously built up area within non-agricultural structures and basically with the non-agricultural structures in terms of roads, also buildings. In those places, you tend to have a very high population density, and the size of urbanized area have at least 50,000 people. And to understand more of the concept of urbanized area, let's first look at another concept called metropolitan area. The U.S. government have also similar definitions. The U.S. government define the metropolitan area as a large urban area with a core of at least 50,000 people, and it functionally integrated with, uh, there's a functional integration among the central city and the surrounding uh, communities and rural areas. This is a map that shows the St. Louis metropolitan area. You can see in the St. Louis metropolitan area, you have a central city, the red, the city of St. Louis. But also you have the component counties that are part of St. Louis metropolitan area. So you have some counties from both sides of the river. So you have a number of counties from Missouri. Also, you have a number of counties from Illinois. Together, uh, they form St. Louis metropolitan area. So you have this functionally, the central cities closely interact with communities and also counties that are part of St. Louis metropolitan area. In terms of functions, many people who live in the surrounding counties actually work in St. Louis, so they would have a daily job commuting to St. Louis cities. And they also often go um, to have specialized services in the city of St. Louis, and such as professional sports, hospital, and other activities in Central City. So there's a close connection between the surrounding cities and communities with Central City, city of St. Louis. So that is functional connection. Now, within the St. Louis metropolitan area, you see this yellow color region. This yellow color region is urbanized area. Within this area, you can see it contains the city of St. Louis, but also contain large part of St. Louis County and a part of East St. Louis. In all this yellow area, you can imagine that this is a continuous concrete space in terms of buildings, in terms of roads, in terms of parking spaces. So that's entirely the built up area. And that's why the geographer call an urbanized area the physical city. For the entire metropolitan area, we know that when you drive from the SIUE to St. Louis, you have to drive through many rural areas. You see a lot of farms. They're not continuously built up area, but within urbanized area, it is entirely built up area. You almost see 100% the concrete space, and that's exactly what they mean by the physical city. So the urbanized area and the metropolitan area are a pair of concepts that are very good for us to understand uh, the large city of large cities. This is a map that also, this is a slide that shows another concept of a large city, mega city. When people come to study urban cities, urban area and cities in the world economy, they define mega city as a metropolitan area with a population of at least 10 million people. So this slide has shown some mega cities today in the world that they all have a size of more than uh, 10 million. So all these cities are called mega cities. In addition, there's also a concept of mega region. and also called megalopolis. Megalopolis as a concept initially was coined by a political scholar who used the term to describe this continuous urbanized region on the east coast of the U.S. that stretch from Boston all the way down to Washington, D.C., through New York City, Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, Baltimore, Maryland, and, Washington, D.C. So this is a large area that contains many cities, many urbanized areas. In some places, those cities basically become adjacent to each other and merge into one big integrated urbanized zone, and he called megalopolis. And today they call this mega region. The mega region is used to describe a urbanized region that have some clusters of urban centers that they almost mingled into one integrated system with very intense transportation system and also economic function and a cultural network connect the entire region into a urbanized mega region or megalopolis. So today, this BOSWA used to be a term that people use to describe this particular megalopolis, but now since there are other megalopolis, there are other mega regions, so we can really look at this map to look at in the context of North America. You have a BOSWA megalopolis, you have a Torrance Buffalo Chester megalopolis, you have a Chic Pit megalopolis that describe Chicago and Pittsburgh region. Chatalanta is Charlotte and Atlanta. South Flow is megalopolis region, basically southern Florida, and Orleans, Houston, New Orleans, Dallas, Austin, Denver, Phoenix, Cascadia. You have the stretch of big cities from Vancouver, Canada, all the way down to Seattle, Portland, in Oregon. Then NorCal mega region, obviously Northern California, and SoCal, the Southern California, and finally medical cities. These are all examples of mega cities in North America.